Welcome on in. Welcome on in. This is Vanessa Brown. I am here just to spread some encouragement. As I promised you, I would be doing my reserved and weighty message or topic that we will be on for some time. I cannot fit all of this information in one video. And so thank you for who joins live, and thank you for my replay viewers. But today I just want to talk just a little introduction, a little segue into what we'll be talking about on my author page, Reserved and Weighty. And so today I am your host, Vanessa Brown. I'm here again to encourage you. I wanted to kick off our Reserved and Weighty talk. And how do we know if we're reserved and weighty? There will be parts to this message that we will discuss over the time frame. We're going to lay a foundation today and what reserve look like. When I say reserved and weighty, I'm talking about your character. When I say reserved and weighty, I'm talking about who you are, your essence. And so I will give you a few scriptures today that we can meditate on before we dive deep into this, so we can understand these messages that I provide. Is to encourage, to give you great encouragement. Is to give you increased understanding and provoked application. Again, that is great encouragement, increased understanding, and provoked application, so that we can see change and improvement in our lives daily. Again, welcome in. How do you know if you're reserved? And so you're quick to listen, slow to speak. You choose restraining words instead of fighting words. You choose peace. You practice calmness and silence. Your heart weighs its answer before you speak it. So you want to know what you're speaking. Is it going to be something that is going to help people evolve? Is it going to be an encouraging word to help people maybe change their vernacular about how they are and who they are, who they're around? Or is it going to be positive? Is it going to deposit something that's going to make a change? And you guard your words to God. So you're not loose-lipped. You're not one of those ones that will just say anything just to get what you want. And so today we're just laying a foundation here. Our foundation scripture today is going to be Job 23. And it's 9 through 11. I'm sorry. Yes, let's just do 9 through 11. It says, when he is at work, this is Job 23, 9 through 11, Christian Standard Bible. When he is at work to the north, I cannot see him. When he turns south, I cannot find him. Yet he knows. Yet he knows. That's something that we need to stand on as we enter and embark into 2026. God already knows. He is already preordained some things that had to take place in our life. So he already knows the way. It says, yet he knows the way I have taken. And when he has tested me, I will emerge as pure gold. Verse 11, my feet have followed his tracks. Have your feet followed his tracks this year? Are you ready to pivot and follow his tracks? I have kept to his way and not turned to aside. So the Lord knows, yet he knows. That says a lot about the God we serve. Yet he knows the ways we have taken. Yet he knows the ways that we shouldn't have taken. Hello? It's not just one way, it's both ways. He knows the way that we have taken. And so today I just want to again encourage you, give you some encouraging information. And so, would you trust God? There's some provoking questions that I wanted to just share with you. Will you trust God while you wait? Will you trust him as you wait? Reserved and weighty. Weighty can be W-A-I-T or W-E-I-G-H-T. But I don't want you to get it confused that you should carry around weights. No, you, the person, the character you are reserved and weighty. So when you trust God while you wait, When it doesn't look like there is a seat for you, will you still trust the Lord to make it right, to make things right, to help you get past what you need to get past in order to be successful in everything that you do? In life, we go through periods where God has promised us something. And as we're walking through it, we forget that we have assigned seats. We have assignments. We have placements where we're to be seated. And we forget that our seat is not based on a physical location, but our spiritual assignments simply. There are assignments associated with our God, our position in God. He knows the route you take. Again, that's our foundation today, Job 23:10. Yet he knows the way I've taken. When he has tested me, I will emerge as pure gold. And so while we're waiting, while we're reserved and while we're waiting, it can become weighty. It can become weighty because of what we've experienced or experiencing. Welcome in. And so the experience can seem catastrophic. The things that you go through sometimes can seem unyielding, but remain steady in the storms. It says, why? Go back to our foundation scripture, because he knows the way that we take. And so today's topic is reserved and weighty. If you're a reserved and weighty person, this message is for you. And so while you're waiting, again, it can be weighty. When it looks like there's no seat for us, we must intentionally trust God and yield to God, because he knows the time, he knows the place, he knows when it needs to happen, he knows when we need to pivot, he knows when we need to really trust him. And so he usually makes up the difference in time that we thought we lost or that we thought we would never get back. He makes up that time. That's in the word. He irons out clad opposition and multiple obstacles we may go through. And while you're reserved and waiting, it's good to have people around you that's going to be trustworthy of you, that is going to believe in the character that God has put inside of you. And you want people around you that knows how to handle tough times and tough problems with grace with you. So when you're reserved and weighty, you must always be ready to move, be ready to flow, be ready to be used. When God makes it happen, you be ready with a smile and a leap in good faith in your spirit. And so today is just encouragement foundation that we're going to lay today with a few scriptures. And I want to thank everyone for joining me. Today is just the foundation of reserve and waiting. So the things that we're going to lay today as foundations is 5 scriptures that I'm going to give you. Today I'm just providing the scriptures to meditate on before we actually really get into the message. Reserved and weighty, I have information that I'm using along with the Bible that would help us to have the instructions, not from Vanessa, but from the Lord. So James 1:19 says, be quick to listen and slow to speak. I outlined some things that should be considered in reserved and weighty people. And that is one of the characteristics. You have to be quick to listen and slow to speak. And this is the most direct and powerful verse. It encourages us who are reserved to be slow to speak. So what you do, what you say, is more likely to be weighty and thoughtful. The second scripture, the first one was James 1:19. The second one is Proverbs 10:19, is that you understand the ability to restrain your words. So you choose your words wisely. When words are many, sin is not absent. But he who holds his tongue is wise. The less you talk, the less likely you are to misspeak or to commit folly. And so being reserved and waiting means you have a reserved speech. That's a sign of wisdom. Our third meditation scripture to lay the foundation today would be Proverbs 17:27-28. When you're reserved and weighty, you're calm and you know when to be silent. So whoever restrains his word has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding. I think my mic went out. I'm so sorry. And so he who restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding. we want to make sure that, I'm just going to turn this off. I don't know what's going on with this. I hope you guys can hear me well. So just because someone is silent doesn't always deem them to be intelligent. So then we have to be a man of great afternoon, good to see you. And so you have to be a man. Just because you're silent doesn't mean you're a man of wisdom. So that comes in where we have to have discernment on what it is that we're hearing and seeing. That's our third scripture, Proverbs 17:27 through 28. The fourth scripture is Proverbs 15:28. The heart weighs its answer. And so if you are a believer, or if you understand about the character of God, we know that the heart can deceive us. It says it in the word that it can deceive us in many ways. It can create something that's not there, or make something feel good that it shouldn't be. But the verse says, the heart of righteousness ponders how to answer. Do we ponder how to answer when we are presented with questions, or we're presented with situations where we're asked for our input? You know, are we weighing what we're saying? Are we understanding the weight of our words? And so we ponder how to answer. But it says in the verse, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. This speaks to the weighty nature of speech. It comes from deliberate thought. So we should be in deliberate thought. We should not be responding in impulse. That is a direct sign of a reserved and weighty person. And the fifth scripture is Ecclesiastes 5:2, guarding your words to God. So do not be rash with our mouth as we are entering 2026. Watch our mouth. Don't let our heart be hasty to utter things, utter words before God in heaven that you really don't mean, or you really don't want to take off. Your action, your words, your voice speaks things to the environment and manifests things. So therefore, let your words be few. If we are reserved even before God, how much so before many men? And so today, those are the 5 foundation scriptures: James 1:19, Proverbs 10:19, Proverbs 17:27 through 28, Proverbs 15:28, and Ecclesiastes 5:2. And today is just to lay the foundation of being reserved and weighty. The next live that I'm going to do is going to talk more about what reserved is. And I did outline that in these 5 verses. And that's what I wanted us to meditate on as we continue on with the message. Those 5 scriptures outlines the characteristics of being a reserved person. And that is quick to listen, slow to speak, choose words wisely, make sure that you're calm and silent when you're supposed to be silent, weigh your words in, the heart, make sure that it is scripturally sound, make sure that you're not leaning on your emotions, and that we're not speaking out of rashness, guarding our words and guarding how we think is so very important, because this is a very different time. And so our thinking, our alignment must line up with believing God and understanding that he can do miracles. He can't do it if we don't have the belief. And so my thought and my take is that I am going strictly by what the Lord has instructed in everything. There's no wrong in God. And so I'm understanding that being a reserved and weighty person also means that you may have been given a promise at a very early age, and it may not have fully manifested yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to manifest. And so as time goes along and as we begin to build on this message, I don't even mind if someone is willing, they can even share their reserved and weighty take on what may have happened in your life, would be a great testimony to someone else. Remember, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so today I just wanted to lay the foundation of being reserved and weighty. And those 5 things is what we will meditate on. And I will come back on the next video and we will begin to talk about the actual word reserved and some implications into that. And also I will be giving examples of the men and women of God in the Bible that were reserved. They were given a promise, but they didn't necessarily walk that promise out right then. They had to wait. So in that wait, they were being reserved. They were being protected. They were being covered. And then weighty, meaning that you are already weighty before you are even announced. You're reserved and weighty before you're even announced. And so as we go into 2026, I know a lot of us are walking into new things, exciting things, things that we've never done or places we've never been before. And it's not by naught, it's divine timing. And so I want to encourage you to stay close to this page. We're going to have authors. We're going to have just regular, just people that have been through a lot on the page to share their stories and to encourage others. And so that none of what you've been through has been wasted. And so that's basically it. And so I wanted to thank you for joining me today, and I will see you again very soon. I do appreciate you sharing the video and following this page. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.